Welcome back, YouTube, man. This is Cash Club. And man, look, we have a serious conversation going on. We spent the last 3 years hearing the same talking points. We've been told he's the most unstoppable force in NBA history. We've been told he's the offensive GOAT. But when the lights are getting the brightest and the defensive intensity ratchets it up, their narrative starts to crumble. So today on this reaction, we're pulling back the curtain on Jokic, the myth. We're not talking about box scores. We're talking about the eye test. We're talking about the defensive liability. And on this one, we actually can go box score, which is crazy for now. This gets swept under the rug. The stat padding accusations that won't go away. And if you're being honest, if you take off those advanced metrics blinders, is he still one of the best offensive players, top 5 all time? I don't know. I say let's stop calling him and try to figure that out, man. So let's jump into this video, man. I want to react to this because I think this is the perfect reaction has got going on right now. So let's jump into it.
Minnesota and Denver. Must-win game for the Denver Nuggets. The game became even easier for the Denver Nuggets because not only did Dante DiVincenzo go down with a, now we know, torn Achilles, but Anthony Edwards went down with seems to be a hyperextended knee on the other knee that he's not even dealing with runner knees on. So more than likely, both of them not only will be out for the rest of the game, which they were, but also the rest of the series. In their absence, Ayo Dosunmu, who was rotting away in Chicago, played big. In 42 minutes, because he had to go out there and play the minutes, gave you a 43-point, 4 rebound, 1 assist, straight buckets, and a block while shooting 13 from the field, while shooting 13 for 17, 5 for 5, and 12 for 12. And crazy enough, you didn't really need much of anything else. You got 12 points from Jaden, 15 from Julius. They both shot sub 40.
I'm just going to be completely honest with you here. Like, this is totally ridiculous. Nuggets, you guys had no business losing that game. I don't care if you're saying, oh, they rallied around their friend, you know, or their teammate that got hurt. Shout out to Ant, shout out to DiVincenzo. They rallied around them. They had no business doing that. They have no business giving up 43 points to a bench player. I love Ayo. Ayo's one of my favorite players. I'm a Bulls fan if you don't know. But they had no business losing that game. They had no business. I didn't understand that. It made no sense to me. I didn't know where, to be honest, I didn't know where they were going to go. Where are they going to go to get these points? And you got walked down by this team? It's crazy. It is crazy. Mike Conley out there giving you minutes, giving you good veteran minutes. That's why you keep him on your roster for stuff like that. When a guard goes out, he can go there and can play your point guard when it gets late in the game. Jay McDaniels and Rudy Gobert had Jamal Murray and Jokic in clamp mode. But it was Ayo Dosunmu. Shout out to Ayo. Ayo, we appreciate you, brother, because that was dope. This is your coming out party. You deserve to get paid. You're going to be an unrestricted free agent. And I think you're one of the best pieces that got picked up at the trade deadline. So they had no business losing the game, but let's get back into it.
Rudy shot sub 30. Ant 1 for 8 in the minutes that he did play. Nas did come off the bench. He gave you 17 on 7 for 13 shooting. And Mike Conley made 2 of his 4 shots. There was only 3 players on this team that shot above 40% and they still won. Now you may be asking, how is that possible? How is that possible? Well, it's because on the other side, Cam Johnson, only 9 points. Aaron Gordon trying to come back from his calf injury, only 9 points, 4 for 11. Tim Hardaway, 3 for 10, 0 for 6 from behind the arc. Spencer Jones, 0 for 2. Bruce Brown, 3 for 7, 0 for 2 as well. But the 2 players that are the stars for this team, they are the individuals who are the face of not only the franchise, but of the offense. Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. Jamal, 30 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, but 10 for 25 from the field and was getting clamped. Struggled to get past half court for a good portion of this game when Jaden McDaniels was available to play when he wasn't in foul trouble. But Nikola Jokic, 24 points, 15 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, and a block. 4 turnovers, though, some of the most silliest turnovers I've seen, and shot sub 40% from the field, and 0 for 3 from behind the arc. In a game in which, again, you don't even need to be that great offensively to win this game because Ayo is out there leading the charge offensively because Ant and Dante are now gone. And be very mindful that this is now back-to-back games where this man has shot sub 30% from the field. Back-to-back games. And in the other game, in game 2, he shot 40% from the field. 3 games in a row.
And yeah, that's just bad, man. If we just look at these games, just look at this, man. We gotta look through this. He has, that's bad. This is bad. 24 points, 36% from the field. 8 for 20. That's just not good. Free throws, 8 for 8, good. 15 rebounds, 9. And when you hear 24, 15, 9, like he showed up, but these splits are not good. 27 points, 7 for 26. Oh my God. See, you're getting clamped up. I'm be honest with you. This is, even if you're doing it, you rebound, you're consistent rebounder, cool. You are getting clamped up. This is the definite, look at these splits. These are getting clamped up. Last game was your best because you shot less. I mean, you shot a better field goal technically, but if you watching like just for the eye test, I'm telling you right now, it didn't look good. It didn't look good at all, man. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but I agree, he's definitely getting clamped up. But let me jump back in.
Where Jokic cannot shoot above 40% from the field. Before I get into the Jokic shit, Rudy Gobert, congratulations. I heard the nonsense Shaq was saying in the broadcast. I'm not gonna give him no credit. We don't care about him. We're done with those niggas talking. And I'm happy that you finally get another stage to prove why you are one of the greatest defenders of all time. I am genuinely happy that you get that opportunity. Because I remember last year, I think I made, or maybe even this NBA season, I made a top 10 defenders list and I put your name in it. And people were like, why is Rudy? Because of nights like this and how great he's been looking this series. Locking up one of the greatest offensive players of all time and holding him to sub 40% for not 1, not 2, but 3 consecutive games to help your team get a 3-1 lead. Jaden McDaniels, you straight called them pussy, then told them to do something about it, and they're not doing nothing about it, and you still testing them by going on the other side, laying the ball up, and letting it be known.
Man, shout out to Jalen McDaniels. He's right. You are 100% right. You're 100% right, man, because he really did call your bluff. He called your bluff and he went in on you. And he did it. He guarded you and then he was scoring on y'all. Shout out to him, man. Because, this is the thing that's been wrong with the NBA to me is like, rivalries are gone. You need this back in there. It makes everything more exciting. That's why football, college sports are killing it. Because you have rivalry. You almost had me cussing. God, they almost got me, God. They almost got me. But I'm just saying, we need to get back into that, man. Like this thing of let's be friends. I'm cool with that. We know each other through AU. I get the circuit. I've done the circuit. I've done the high school circuit. I've done the college circuit. I get it. But there has to be some type of rivalry within the, not just player to player because that can get stale and old. That can be made up. But like between organizations. When is LA and Boston? When has that rivalry really felt strong? I get LA has down times. I get it. But like, there's no rivalry there. Like, I want to see this again. I want to see interconference rivalries. Interdivision rivalries. I just want to see that within basketball more. And I love this Timberwolves and Nuggets first round rivalry. It just makes everything fun. Like, I want to see OKC and the Spurs have a crazy rivalry. I just want to see this type of stuff. So I like it. I appreciate it. But Jokic, man, yeah, man, let somebody call your team out like that and then really execute. That doesn't look good on your legacy, man. We have to hold you to the same standard. Now, do I think, in this video, is he going to overemphasize or do too much? Of course, we're doing commentary. But I'm going to be honest with you. If this was Steph, if this was LeBron or KD, Kawhi, they're going to get the same criticism. You're at that level. You're battling, you're jockeying with them now, like what's going on. Giannis, you're going to get the same criticism. Like once you hit that peak, you're going to get the same criticism. And being down 3-1 in the playoffs to a team, especially that got hurt with their two starting their starting guards. I mean, what are we doing? You know what I mean? So jump back into it.
What the fuck is up? We can go on and on about the role players. Tim 0 for 6. The Cam Johnson MPJ transition is not working out for them. He is clearly a far worse player, especially when we're talking about playoff basketball when you need someone to quick trigger and, more importantly, to take advantage of mismatches. Cam Johnson, for the entire second half, had a small guard defending him, and he still was not aggressive enough to score on a smaller guard. MPJ definitely would not. That would never happen. MPJ certainly not going out while only attempting 6 shots. We can talk about Christian Brown and how bad he's looked in this series. He's a nothing on defense, and he's
No, I do agree, but let's get back to. I want to get him talking about Jokic. Let's get a little bit up there, but I do agree with this. His team isn't playing well either.
narrative talk. We're not even talking narrative because it's clear that I can see it, you can see it, all of us watching this can see it, and it's so clear that Jaden McDaniels called it out as well, and he called you out on it again at the end of this game, called you a pussy, and then sat there and said, what you gonna do about it? And then you walk over there, you run from one side of the court to the other with your hands like this. You can't do that, you can't do that. And McDaniels grabbed you by your jersey and said, do something then, nigga. But you didn't do nothing. So everything that everybody said about you, brother, in my mind, it's true. I fell for it. Oh, okie doke. You had an easy postseason run with some comp that was questionable. You beating up on a bunch of teams in the regular season that don't have the height and size to match with you because you now taking advantage of an era of basketball that does way too many switches. And then you get in postseason play with legitimate defense and you crumble. You've been crumbling now for 3 consecutive playoff runs. And for the defenders that go out there and tell me, oh, it's all-time defense. It's an all-time defensive player. You're right.
That's a hell of a thing to say. Last 3 years you've been crumbling. Let's see. Let's check the stats on this. You got to check it. All right, so let's go down here. We're going to go. Let's do this. We're going to do. Let's go back to split. All right, so. Stats, my bad, y'all. If we're going to go. Oh, my bad. Let me click playoff here. So I used the other one because this one is annoying. Man, I mean, where'd that field go? Yeah. Ooh, that was not good last year. Jokic, yeah. I'm looking at it right now, man. Like, you were 39 last year. 2024, you were pretty good. I mean, this year. 48 last year. Ooh, I mean, it ain't terrible. This year is just, oof, this is bad. But I see what he means, man. You've been kind of dwindling off if you start looking that way because these are your peak years. So, yeah, if you're right, yeah, I mean, but he's older. But are you a fraud? If Jokic is a fraud, man, we're all frauds. Because look at this stat line. 28, 13, and 11 is craziness, man. So, I don't know. But you are below.
You are absolutely right. Rudy Gobert is an all-time defensive player at his position. Chet and company last year, all-time defense as well. But guess what? Guess what? Y'all don't give none of that bail to when Curry struggles against those defenses and have to overcome them. You don't do that for LeBron either. You certainly don't do it for Kobe. You niggas will just blindly just look at field goal percentage and just end it at that. You don't give a fuck about who they defended or who's defending them. You don't care. You do not care. And so from a player that we already know is terrible defensively. And quite frankly, even as okay and good that you were offensively in that first half, the game was still close because how bad you were defensively. At any moment, they knew they could get to the paint and get easy buckets every single time. Io was touching paint, float job, and you barely put your hands up. The one time you actually did put your hands up on McDaniels to contest the shot, he missed it. But you didn't do that because you don't do it. But again, these are all things that unless you're a moron or you're just straight biased, the rest of the NBA world knows. We know when it comes to defense, there's not a number, there's no calculation. We don't give a fuck about no Raptor, no box score plus minus, no defensive win shares, no LeBron, no Vort, none of that. We don't care about no on-off numbers because we know you spend most of your time on the court with Aaron Gordon to help shield you from how bad you are defensively. We know that.
Hey, he's speaking facts here. He is definitely speaking facts here. I'm going to be honest with you, Jokic. You are as bad as we go in on Luka, we need to go in on you too because you be on bullshit. You do this bullshit-ass effort. You do this on defense. Your drop coverage is terrible. Your pick and roll coverage is it's terrible. The down low coverage is hell. When people go into the rim, you have zero contests. It's bad out here. I'm just gonna be real with you, man. It's bad. You're gonna have to figure something out because it's starting to show. It's starting to show. Now, Jamal Murray's not a lockup artist. Cool. But Aaron Gordon cannot be your savior because between Aaron Gordon, Braun, and Johnson, I mean, I don't think that's a great core to try to hide you and Jamal Murray's defensive liabilities. It's getting bad, man. So they have something. They need to figure something out soon because Jokic, if you're not killing on offense, you're shooting to 18% from three or something crazy right now, and your defense is bad. What are you doing for us? You are our system. What are you doing? And you're not playing defense. It's like, so it's getting to a point right now where this does not look good. I'll be honest with you. This is bad. This is a very exposing game. Letting Rudy Gobert lock you up is unacceptable. I don't care if Rudy got 4 DPOIs. I don't care. This is unacceptable. I'm just being real, man. You can shoot the ball, even though that jump shot is brick. You have great shooting pockets. You're smart. But if you're just a mismatch merchant, where if it's not a mismatch, you're struggling to score in length, that reflects poorly on you. I'm just being honest. So I do agree. Now he's put a little extra on it right now. I don't agree to this because great players have bad playoff series. It happens, but hey, it's definitely opening my eyes.
So the only way, and I do mean the only way,
Well, let's skip ahead
quickly, is that
I can't watch this whole.
He's a fake tough guy.
Bro, you cannot run over there. You cannot run over there, try to go all chest to chest with a nigga, and then he pull on your jersey. Bro, if you're gonna go over there, then go over there and do something. What you running over there for? What are you doing? It's done. You show all that emotion, all that nonchalant, I don't really care type shit. Yeah, it's too often where you just look. You're just fraudulent, bro. You're fraudulent. You go up against actual bigs. You fold under pressure all the time, and I don't want to hear no arguments about how you need even more help around you, how you need even more floor spacing, how you need even better passers and playmakers around you. Because if you need those things,
I'm going to be honest with you, though. I don't agree with that he folds against bigs all the time. I definitely don't think that's true. I mean, if you look at in the Olympics, what he did, I mean, he kept his team in there. And it was, I'm not saying it was just him, but he was the main force of everything. So that's just not true. Again, that's just, putting extras on it. Like I said, like, come on now. We're putting a little extras on it. But yeah, this does not look good. Now, when it comes to team construction, I think this era, especially now, this is the most it ever meant in the past because skill is so spread out between so many teams that like constructing a roster needs to be great around you. Do I think Denver is great? No. I mean, your 2 and 3 spot, you're really not getting much scoring out of. So it's really just your point guard and you getting all the points, and your bench's scoring is okay. Aaron Gordon's not a big scorer. The 3-man you got rid of from MPJ, who MPJ was a shooter. He was aggressive. You got rid of that. So I definitely think, yes, they have to upgrade those positions in the offseason, even if it's like trading both of them for somebody to upgrade one position and bringing somebody in to handle the other one. So, I mean, they're going to have some real questions this offseason. Because, I mean, how much do you ride with this core? Do you change some? I mean, obviously, you're going to have the duo, or the trio. But how much longer do you hey, Christian Braun, I don't know if you're a shooting guard of the future. Again, other dude, you got to get out of here. So, and then, hey, what are we going to do with our bench? So there's a lot of questions they have.
Matter of fact, let me say that back. If you do need those things to kind of get you to the point in which you can go back to mismatch hunting.
And for one, I'm going to be honest with you. Sorry, I'm going to add this. That was some fake tough guy shit to do. Being that mad, I get it. You mad that somebody does that. They're showing you up, da-da-da. But you doing this all this nonchalant type of attitude. When that happens, you shouldn't trip as much. So you go in there trying to be tough. What are you trying to do? You trying to get a fine? You ain't going to swing on a nigga. So you just get in his face doing all that because you mad. It's lame. Now, Jokic, I think you're a fake tough guy. I think you would get on that with somebody. But that's what a fake tough guy would do. That action that you did was some fake tough guy shit that, like, it really did not matter to do. Y'all got real beef. You know this. As soon as you threw that pass, just walk to the locker room. You ain't got to shake his hand. But doing all that fake tough guy shit, everybody getting suspended, y'all doing that, and Christian Braun trying to jump into it too. It was just lame. I get it. You got your teammates back, so I'm not going to go at you. I'm going to be going more at Jokic. But, like, to me, it's like, y'all got beef. Let it be that. Going over there doing all the lame ass shit and not doing nothing, it just looked lame. I'm just being real, man. It looked lame as hell.
Getting separation, shifting the defense, that just means that you're not as good as what a lot of people, including myself, thought you were to be. That's just the reality of it. In my mind, the more help that you need to get you to a certain level means that you're not that good in the first place. And so even though, yes, MPJ not being the same player he was in 23 and the years following, and now he got replaced with Cam, that hurts. Even though, yes, Jamal Murray, after 23 and 2020, those are really the only two postseason runs where he's looked from start to finish as an all-NBA caliber guard. Yes, that hurts. Even though, yes, you are without a lot of favorable things, in particular an Aaron Gordon who is healthy, that can be the lob threat that you need to throw the lobs at the rim. Yes, that hurts. Even though, yes, you are going up against all-time defenses, in particular teams that have defensive personnel to slow you down. Yes, that hurts. But if you are really that good, if you're really that good, it shouldn't matter, bro. None of that should matter.
Yo, my good brother, hello. My good buddy Obal.
Yeah.
My compadre, my mi amigo.
Uh-huh.
How's your offer for gold going? Now?
Yeah, let's skip this real quick. So I want to skip to this part right here. Where is it? Right here.
Will not show up in this information that I will show you because NBA.com, for whatever reason, like they're inaccurate with some of the plays that they show. However, of all the shots that Jokic has taken so far, he is 1 for 8 on open threes, most of which they are conceding. He is 2 for 2 on closeout threes from Gobert, meaning that Gobert stopped for a second, thought about it, kind of closed out a little bit late, and he knocked down those threes. He is 1 for 1 on Gobert when Gobert kind of closed out on him. He pump fake, he drives. He's only been able to do that one time because most of the time Gobert is just allowing him to take the three. But the thing that really blew me away, Nikola Jokic in this series is 11 for 40 against Rudy Gobert. 11 for 40. 11 for 40. And in particular,
so what y'all thinking of? Because for me, I don't think it's all Rudy, man. I think he's just playing bad. Like, and this happens with players, so I gotta give him. But this doesn't look good, man. This breakdown. I mean, shout out to Lowe for this breakdown. This is a great breakdown. But it just it looks bad. It's hard to explain this. And like 11 for 40, that's terrible as hell. Like, look at this. 1-11 before dunking game 2, 6-26 after game 3. Like, damn, Jokic, you getting your shit locked up. Like, damn, I just convinced myself mid-thought. Ain't that crazy? Mid-thought, I thought about it. You getting your shit locked up, brother. Sorry. This is out of hand, man. This is getting out of hand, bro. Like, and it didn't need to happen this way, but if I'm being honest with you, man, you haven't came to play. I feel like you've been lollygagging and, maybe shit has caught up to you. Maybe it's roster construction. I don't know, but this is like this showing that, hey, are you just hunting certain mismatches to score? Like, what are we doing? So I don't know.
Remember that dunk he had in game 2 where he drove by Gobert and he dunked, finished all that shit in the fourth quarter? Up until that moment, Jokic was 1 for 11 against Gobert in the first 2 games of the series. 1 for 11 against Rudy Gobert. And again, I'm talking mano y mano. These type of plays is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about no.
Yep, we not gonna do that. We gotta skip through that because, hey, no copyright right here. But no, I agree with that. That's on one last part of the video. But yeah, I totally agree. Like mano y mano, he's been locking you up, and it's kind of been old school defense, old school basketball. Hey, we're not gonna do all this switching. We're not gonna do all this. You're gonna have to beat us, man. But let's jump to here.
These advantages. And this actually kind of reminds me of Larry Bird throughout his career, where if you watch Bird early on in his career, he struggled to go out there and create open opportunities for himself and others. So he took a lot of hit offensively throughout the first handful of years of his career. And so the Celtics accepted this reality and went out and got Dennis Johnson, a ball handler, and Mikal continued to develop into one of the greatest post scorers the league has ever seen. And so even at his absolute best, there are moments where the Celtics has decided it's actually far better for us to just throw the ball into Kevin Mikal because he's actually a better scorer than Larry Bird. Now, it could be that can be situational, but that is the reality, and that's how they had to build that team. They also may have to accept that reality out in Denver, because if you can't score against actual centers or at least with a lot of length, you can't shoot over them with any form of consistency, and your jump shot is going to be kind of in and out. That kind of then just begs the question, bro, what exactly does this team need? But in a much larger picture, I guess you can say, it is hard for me to even acknowledge you as an all-time great offensive weapon to the degree of a top 5 or top 7 in those conversations if this is what you consistently struggle with every single year in the playoffs. And the thing that makes it even more concerning is that Jokic isn't in his 20s the way in which, Kobe was in his 20s when he struggled against the Pistons and had to kind of change his ideology and playing style, and then developed in who he was in the late 2000s.
That's a lot of extras. I think Jokic right now is still poised to, actually win the series, especially with them being out, and maybe going far in these playoffs and turn everything around. I do think that's saying that he can't score over length, and that's going to be his problem in the future, and there's going to be something they have to address. I don't think it's that serious. I'm going to be honest with you. I truthfully think Jokic will be fine, but I do think they're going to have to figure something out, though, this series. Jokic is going to have to dig down and be like, hey, do I want to be on this team? Do I want to be in this series? Do I want to be in the playoffs? Because he's going to have these crazy triple-double games to end this out. Minnesota's going to be on their neck. This is real business behind this. This ain't for play, man. But let me know what you think, man. Is Jokic a fraud? Is he not in the top 25? Does he not have a top 10 player, offensive player all-time accolade? Is that not him? Let me know, because a lot of people are arguing with me, man. I don't know what to say. But come back to the channel, man. I got a good video just talking about Kevin Durant and Paolo and their struggles. So who knows? Maybe that's just what's going on, man. A lot of struggles when it comes to stars in the playoffs, man. But this is Cash Club Reacts, and I'm out. Peace.